ask you something. How many of you have ever felt like time is slipping through your fingers? Like no matter how hard you try, there's never enough time for the things that truly matter. Well, today that changes. Because this moment, right now, is your time. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. See, most people are living in reaction mode, chasing deadlines, drowning in distractions, running on a hamster wheel of busyness. But extraordinary people, they take control. They master their time, their energy, their life. And that is what today is about. In the next few minutes, we're going to break through the patterns that are stealing your time. We're going to shift your mindset from overwhelmed to unstoppable. Because this is not just about productivity. This is about creating a life on your terms. Time is the most valuable resource you have. It's not money, it's not talent, it's not even connections, because you can lose money and make it back. You can lack talent and develop skills. You can have no connections and build relationships. But time, once it's gone forever. And yet most people treat time like it's unlimited. They waste it on things that don't matter. They trade their most precious asset for distractions, for obligations that drain them, for routines that keep them stuck instead of moving forward. The truth is, the way you use your time is the ultimate reflection of what you value. You don't have to tell me what's important to you. I can see it by looking where your time goes. If you say you care about your health but never make time to exercise, it's not truly a priority. If you say your family matters most but spend every evening glued to your phone or stuck in the office, you're not living in alignment with your values. And this isn't about guilt, it's about waking up to reality. Because the moment you take control of your time, you take control of your life. Most people are living in reaction mode. They wake up, check their phone, respond to emails, handle problems as they come up, and by the end of the day, they're exhausted but haven't actually moved forward. They've been busy, but not productive. And there's a massive difference. Busy means running in circles. Productive means making real progress toward what matters. The most successful people don't manage their time, they own it. They decide in advance what their priorities are and build their days around them. They don't wait to find time for important things, they make time. Because if you don't schedule your life, someone else will. Think about it. Who's in control of your time right now? Is it you, or is it your job, your inbox, social media, the expectations of others? If you don't take command, life will pull you in 1,000 directions, and you'll end up wondering where the years went. But the moment you shift from reacting to directing, everything changes. You stop feeling overwhelmed, you stop wasting hours on things that don't serve you, you stop feeling like life is slipping away, and you start creating it on your terms. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is, I don't have time. Let's get real, you do have time. You have the same 24 hours as anyone else. The problem isn't time, it's priorities. If something truly matters, you make time for it. If you're not making time, it means you haven't made it a real priority. And that's the shift. Getting brutally honest with yourself about what you really want and committing to it. Some people say, but I'm too busy, my schedule is packed. Let me tell you something. Being busy isn't the same as being effective. Most people fill their days with low-value tasks that give them a false sense of productivity. They answer emails, sit in meetings, scroll through social media, do things out of obligation. But if you cut through all that noise and focus only on what moves the needle in your life, you'd be shocked at how much time you actually have. Here's the secret. You don't need more time, you need to use the time you already have differently. That means getting intentional. That means eliminating what doesn't serve you. That means protecting your time like your life depends on it. Because it does. Every yes to something unimportant is a no to something that actually matters. Every hour spent in distraction is an hour you'll never get back. People wait too long to start living. They think they'll have more time later. They say, once I get this promotion, then I'll focus on my passions. Once the kids are older, then I'll start taking care of myself. Once I retire, then I'll enjoy life. But life doesn't work that way. There is no later. There is no someday. There is only now. And if you're not making the most of now, you're robbing yourself of the life you could be living. It's time to take back your time. It's time to stop letting distractions, obligations, and other people's priorities dictate your life. It's time to decide what truly matters to you and structure your life around that, because when you master your time, you master your destiny. Most people think they need more hours in the day, but the truth is they don't need more time. They need to shift how they experience time. Time is not just a ticking clock. It's a perception, an emotion, an experience that is shaped by how you use it. Two people can live the same 24 hours, but one feels exhausted and unfulfilled while the other feels energized and accomplished. The difference isn't the number of hours, it's the level of presence, focus, and intensity they bring to those hours. Think about a time when you were fully immersed in something you loved. Maybe you were creating, competing, laughing, or connecting deeply with someone. In those moments, time either slows down, stretching into something rich and meaningful, or it flies by in an instant because you are so absorbed in what you're doing. Contrast that with the feeling of being stuck in a boring meeting, scrolling mindlessly on your phone, or doing something out of obligation with no real engagement. In those moments, time feels wasted, empty, draining. It's the same clock moving forward, but the experience of time is completely different. Most people are not actually living their time, they are merely spending it, watching the minutes and hours slip through their fingers without truly experiencing them. They are physically present, but mentally elsewhere, thinking about what's next, worrying about what's past, constantly jumping from one thing to another. And when you live this way, no amount of extra time will ever feel like enough because you're never actually in the moment you're living. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your moments. And the quality of your moments is determined by your ability to be fully engaged, fully alive, fully present. The most successful and fulfilled people in the world don't necessarily work longer hours or cram more activities into their schedule. They simply bring more life into the hours they already have. They train themselves to focus intensely, to connect deeply, to experience everything with full presence. That's why they can accomplish more in a few focused hours than most people do in an entire week of scattered, distracted effort. Distraction is the thief of time. Every time you check your phone, switch task, or let your mind wander aimlessly, you are fragmenting your time and diluting your experience of it. Imagine pouring water into a glass, but stopping and starting every few seconds. You'll never fill the glass efficiently. That's how most people treat their time. They start something, get interrupted, switch to something else, and end the day wondering where all their time went. But when you learn to protect your focus, to give yourself fully to whatever you're doing, you enter a state of flow where time expands, where work becomes effortless, where you get more done in less time with greater joy and fulfillment. Your energy and attention are the most valuable currencies you have, and yet most people give them away freely without even realizing it. They wake up and immediately check email, social media, news, reacting to the world instead of taking command of their day. They let other people's demands dictate their schedule. They get pulled into distractions that add nothing to their life. And then they wonder why they feel exhausted and unfulfilled. But the truth is, it's not about having more time. It's about reclaiming the time you already have and using it with purpose. When you align your time with your true values, something shifts inside of you. You no longer feel like you're racing against the clock. You stop feeling like life is slipping away. Instead, you feel in control, intentional, fully engaged. You stop letting trivial things drain your energy and start investing your time in what truly matters: your growth, your relationships, your purpose. There is a rhythm to life, and when you learn to flow with it, everything changes. Instead of forcing yourself to grind through your day, you learn to ride the natural waves of focus and rest, action and reflection. You begin to recognize the moments when you are at your peak and use them for your most important work. You understand that life is not about doing more, but about being more in every moment. You stop looking at time as something to manage and start seeing it as something to master. Most people are not running out of time. They are simply not fully in their time. They are waiting for some future moment to start living, but life is only happening now. When you fully engage with the present, you not only get more done, but you experience life at a whole new level. Time becomes your ally, not your enemy. You stop counting the minutes and start making the minutes count. Most people think success comes from hard work alone, but the real key to transforming your life is mastering your emotional state. Your emotions dictate your actions, your decisions, your ability to follow through, and ultimately the results you get in life. Two people can have the same goal, the same resources, the same amount of time, but the one who consistently puts themselves in a peak emotional state will always outperform the one who allows fear, doubt, and frustration to take over. Think about it. Have you ever had a day where you felt unstoppable? Where everything seemed to click and you took action without hesitation? That didn't happen by accident. You were in a powerful emotional state. Maybe excitement, determination, or certainty. Now compare that to a time when you felt overwhelmed, exhausted, or discouraged. The same tasks suddenly felt harder. The same opportunities didn't seem as clear. The difference wasn't in your ability, your intelligence, or even the external circumstances. It was your state. Most people live at the mercy of their emotions. They let external events dictate how they feel. If things go well, they feel good. If things go wrong, they feel terrible. But true mastery comes when you realize that you control your state no matter what's happening around you. You can train yourself to step into a peak state at will. You can create energy, confidence, and certainty on demand. And when you do that, you stop waiting for the right conditions to take action. You become the force that creates results. Emotions are created by three things: physiology, focus, and language. Change any one of these and you change how you feel instantly. First, physiology. Your body is the fastest way to shift your state. Try slouching, breathing shallowly, and looking down, and you'll feel tired or unmotivated within seconds. But if you stand tall, breathe deeply, move with intensity, and put energy into your voice, your state changes immediately. That's why elite athletes, performers, and top business leaders all have rituals to prime their bodies before taking action. Second, focus. Whatever you focus on, you feel. If you focus on problems, you'll feel stuck. If you focus on possibilities, you'll feel empowered. Most people don't realize that focus is a habit. They've trained themselves to look for what's wrong instead of what's possible. But the moment you shift your focus, you shift your emotions. Instead of asking, what if I fail, ask, what if I succeed? Instead of focusing on obstacles, focus on solutions. Where focus goes, energy flows. Third, language. The words you use shape your emotions. Saying I'm overwhelmed creates a different experience than saying I'm feeling challenged but capable. Saying this is impossible creates a different outcome than saying I will find a way. Your language patterns become the filters through which you experience the world. When you consciously choose empowering words, you rewire your mind to support your success instead of sabotage it. Most people set goals, but very few actually achieve them. They start with excitement, they feel motivated for a while, but then life gets in the way, challenges show up, and their momentum fades. It's not because they lack intelligence, resources, or opportunity. It's because they haven't conditioned themselves to follow through. The difference between people who dream and people who achieve is their ability to stay committed long after the initial excitement wears off. Success is not about setting a goal, it's about building a system that ensures you take consistent action. The human brain is wired to seek comfort and avoid pain, which means that when things get hard, most people hesitate, they procrastinate, they look for an easier path. But those who create real change train themselves to push forward even when it's uncomfortable. They understand that commitment is not something you feel, it's something you do, regardless of how you feel in the moment. One of the biggest reasons people fail to follow through is that they rely on motivation. Motivation is a great starting point, but it's unreliable. Some days you wake up feeling inspired and driven, but other days you feel tired, distracted, or discouraged. If you only take action when you feel like it, your results will always be inconsistent. The people who succeed at the highest level don't depend on motivation. They create rituals and habits that force them to take action no matter what. Think about an athlete training for the Olympics. They don't wait until they feel like practicing. They don't skip training because they're tired or busy. They have a system that demands their commitment, and they follow it relentlessly. The same principle applies to anything you want to achieve. If you want to get in the best shape of your life, you don't just go to the gym when you feel like it. You schedule your workouts, create accountability, and make it a must. If you want to build a successful business, you don't just work on it when it's convenient. You prioritize the key actions every single day, no matter what. Another major factor in long-term success is your ability to overcome setbacks. Every journey toward a goal will have obstacles, failures, and moments of doubt. Most people see these as signs to stop, but those who succeed view them as opportunities to grow. They don't see failure as the opposite of success. They see it as part of success. They use setbacks to learn, adjust, and come back stronger. They develop the mindset that nothing can stop them because they are willing to adapt and keep going. Ultimately, the people who achieve extraordinary results are not the ones who have the best ideas or the easiest path. They are the ones who decide that quitting is not an option. They create a system that makes success inevitable. They build habits that keep them moving forward. They train themselves to take action whether they feel like it or not. And because of that, they create results that others only dream of. Most people live their lives waiting for the right moment to take action. They wait for more confidence, more knowledge, more certainty. They tell themselves they need more time, more resources, or more support. But the truth is, waiting never leads to progress. Action leads to progress. The people who create extraordinary results in life are not the ones who wait until they feel ready. They are the ones who take action before they feel ready. Success is never about knowing exactly how everything will play out. It's about having the courage to take the first step even when you don't have all the answers. The biggest breakthroughs don't come from perfect plans, they come from imperfect action. The greatest entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators didn't start with everything figured out. They started with an idea, a vision, a belief, and they moved forward adjusting along the way. Waiting for certainty is the fastest way to stay stuck. One of the biggest killers of momentum is overthinking. People analyze, hesitate, and second-guess themselves until the opportunity passes them by. They let fear of failure paralyze them instead of realizing that failure is part of the process. The most successful people are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who fail fast, learn quickly, and keep moving. They don't let mistakes define them. They use them as stepping stones to grow stronger. The key to breaking through is to take massive, imperfect action. Most people take small, hesitant steps, testing the waters, waiting for a sign that guarantees success. But real progress comes when you commit fully, when you burn the boats and go all in. When you stop dabbling and start deciding that no matter what happens, you will find a way. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not talent or luck. It's their willingness to take relentless action even when it's uncomfortable. Action creates momentum, and momentum creates confidence. Most people think confidence comes first, that they need to feel ready before they start. But confidence is built through action. The more you do something, the more competent you become. And competence, the first time you do something, it's uncomfortable. The 10th time, it's easier. The 100th time, it's second nature. But you'll never reach that level unless you push through the discomfort of the early stages. Fear will always be there. Doubt will always whisper in your ear. But the people who achieve greatness are the ones who act despite fear, who move forward despite uncertainty. They don't let their emotions dictate their actions. They let their actions dictate their emotions. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They create the perfect moment by stepping forward. Every great achievement, every breakthrough, every transformation starts with a decision to take action now. Most people believe their success is determined by their external circumstances, where they were born, the opportunities they were given, the challenges they've faced. But the truth is, your success is not dictated by your environment. It's dictated by your standards. The level of success you achieve in any area of life is a direct reflection of what you are willing to tolerate and what you demand of yourself. Every person has a set of standards that shape their actions, decisions, and results. Some people have high standards for their health, so they exercise consistently, eat well, and take care of their body. Others have low standards, so they make excuses and settle for being out of shape. Some people have high standards for their relationships, so they nurture deep connections and communicate with love and respect. Others tolerate toxic relationships, lack of communication, and unhappiness. Some people demand excellence from themselves in their careers, always striving to grow and improve, while others settle for just getting by. Your standards are what you accept as normal in your life. If you accept being tired all the time, you'll live exhausted. If you accept financial struggle, you'll stay stuck in it. If you accept mediocre relationships, you'll never experience deep connection and passion. But the moment you raise your standards, the moment you decide that you will no longer tolerate less than you deserve, everything changes. People don't get what they want in life, they get what they must have. Wanting something is not enough. Everyone wants to be successful, happy, and fulfilled, but not everyone demands it from themselves. The difference between people who achieve extraordinary results and those who don't is that successful people don't just hope, wish, or want. They commit. They raise their standards to a level where success is no longer optional, it's a necessity. Look at any area of your life where you're not getting the results you want, and you'll find that it's an area where your standards are too low. If your finances aren't where you want them to be, it's because you've accepted a certain level of income, spending, or financial habits. If your energy levels aren't where they should be, it's because you've accepted a certain standard for your health, diet, or exercise. If your relationships aren't as fulfilling as you want, it's because you've accepted a certain level of connection, communication, or effort. The good news is you can change this instantly by making a decision to raise your standards. Raising your standards isn't just about setting bigger goals, it's about shifting your identity. It's about deciding that this is who you are now. When you raise your standards, you stop making excuses. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop settling for anything less than what you're truly capable of. And when you do that, your entire life transforms.